Alright, let's see it. So we're playing Oleg. Now, here, this might have been a mistake already. It's so weird. Yeah, I think here yellow can go all in. Like, really. Queen h11. Queen there, check. Yeah, so not this will, I don't like that move. They should go for it here. Now I wonder what they play. Maybe this is the best. So there, check. So if you take there, check. Oh, that's interesting. Really interesting. It's funny that this might be good. What to play now? I feel like you have to check. Yeah, this might be winning. I'm not totally sure. Yeah, this is good. What do you do here? Very nice move. I mean, there's a threat. How do you stop it? I mean, you could block if your life depends on it, I guess. Yeah, this is just a very interesting game. But maybe this tricky move. Now let's say I develop my queen. You do the same. And now if you block, develop the bishop, now there's not really a queen takes L13 because he protects it. So I might have to settle with something like queen f10. Yeah, this is a regular game, I would say. Nothing special. You have to be careful if you're getting, you can get into real trouble really fast here. Yeah, this knight move is a little bit slow. You could get punished here. In fact, quite badly. Yeah, this was a... I thought he would play Queen G4, hitting my king. Oh. Now you can probably win a piece here, but I'm not sure what to play after this. So now this check is annoying. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say here. So there are options here, like queen takes. Now you probably have to run or check. Check. And then with what? Pawn. Yeah, this is not very clear, but I think red and yellow are slightly better. As long as they can get yellow's king safe, this should be fine. So this was maybe already a mistake. No, maybe you can play Queen L9 here. That's a very normal move. The problem is, how do you play if they just go... Oh, now I cover this. This is covered. Just go for mate, I guess. So now there's a threat. Checkmate. Probably this is the move. The move. Now what? Yeah, that's problematic. Probably forced to play d7 here. But that might be good enough. You just have to be careful that you're not getting mated. Like queen takes l6 and queen takes m7 might be mate there. I mean, you could... Is it though? I mean, I have a check in the worst case. Let's see. Oh, it's yellow. Then it's not so good. Yeah, so I thought maybe this was a mistake. Yeah, I believe so. It's really hard. Is there a way? Like, no, that's not gonna work. You just go to the side. Yeah, this is the problem. Maybe not actually. I don't see. Oh, what am I talking about? Maybe not. That's pretty clear. Yeah. The idea was, of course, that if you take my queen, then it's just a trade basically. This is probably a losing move, which is funny. I mean, you can get it down a piece with an open file, which is not horrible compensation. Game is not over or anything. And now I've covered the diagonals, so now I'm pretty safe. I think probably here I made a mistake. I should have just played bishop b8 to cover my king. Sometimes I can even kick the yellow queen with bishop a7. And this had a like if red had played the critical move, you can probably protecting the knight is fine as well. I mean, then yellow might have this idea of checkmating me on a7. That's why I protected the pawn chain. And now they sacked a piece, which was not really a piece sack, because in this position red is ready to give up the queen, and then my knight is hanging. So I asked Theoric to give up a bishop here, and this just asks red to play something different from capturing my knight. You know, you can still play it. I like takes, take my knight, and now I'm not sure, but I always you know what, let's take the rook. Now the knight is hanging, and yeah, this could be tricky. Imagine we need some magic here. Probably you just have to move the knight. I would say this game is pretty open at this point. Yellow has this super active rook and my king is in a bit of trouble, but yeah, it's a mess, you know. It's never easy to play stuff like this. I imagine I'm in a bit of trouble, but so is red. Like, green can attack pretty efficiently with the weakened king position. I just have to be careful with my queen, because after pretty much any move from yellow, I'm under serious threat of getting mated. Yeah, I think I should probably move the bishop. With very confident about that, no? Yeah, not exactly. Just go in. Yeah. And how do you answer that one? That's unfortunate. Like, you could take with the bishop, but how about that move? I mean, oh yeah, there's a check. That's too bad. Yeah, you can just bring the rook and I don't know what I'm doing. I probably castle, but this is too dangerous. Probably they played very well in the opening. I don't really like this L8 move. I prefer knight L6 or K9. Yeah, that would be my main options. This is not bad, of course, but I think it's dubious to play it when red and yellow is not forced to defend anything because my queen is not out. At least we played the active moves, even if they objectively may not have worked. I wonder, like, one cute trick here was my teammate was asking for like d10, and that just loses on the spot, I think, because now queen takes knight is the threat, and I don't really see how to stop it. Because if you try to counter, the problem is that red just takes it, and after the check there's a bit of a cold shower. Like, that's things working out for you. Like, this queen defending red, like, yeah, come on. Yeah, so this move is not good. I think I found a good move. You could also consider playing c7. The only thing is that now my king is slightly more exposed. So both moves have up and down sides. I think this was probably a mistake, but not very obvious. And in the end, I think the tactics were very interesting indeed. I think it was a mistake to not take the knight here because the yellow queen is worth more. You kind of you don't really care about the rook in the corner. Yeah, that variation we went over just a moment ago. And now my queen is pinning towards the rook, so it's not so easy to get developed. And here they probably should have sacked the queen. Like, there were some options. You could even if you take with a knight, I take the queen, he takes my knight. Now probably take this, and then you take back. I take the rook, you run. Probably you want to actually, you probably do not want that. What if you play a random move like that one? Take the knight. Now there's a threat to this bishop. This looks kind of nice, I must say. Yeah, let's just see what happens here. So there's sack another rook. Probably you need that one into the game. So now yellow is out of rooks, but he has 3 pieces. Yeah, is there something here? I mean, the queen is kind of out of play as well. I guess I can rescue it next move. But this is not entirely over. Imagine some move here. Maybe this one. No, I think this is good for green and blue. So probably the queen sack was not the best. And here they had some options again. They could have taken on m10, because he's pretty much forced to check. King over. I mean, if you go down, well, that's interesting. Yeah, if you go here, then you're just getting checked. That's no good. And if you go the other way, then I'm mating in 1. So this is the only move. And now the tricks. Probably you could consider sacking a queen here. Probably not sound though. Yeah, it's not. So now you should take the rook. Get in your check. Yeah. Probably you're just going for mate here as blue. It's not very easy. Yeah, what they did is of course perfectly playable. I mean, it's not really playable. Yeah, it is playable, but now I played a tricky move, but was it the best? I'm not so sure. Probably I had some options there. Yeah, I feel like maybe queen f7 was better to threaten queen f2 and also defend my knight. This looks like an improvement. The only thing you have to be careful about is a really nasty check. So let's see. So now you should probably take this knight just to get rid of it. Now the queen is kind of loose. I imagine playing something funky like I did in the game. And probably that's a good decision. Probably yellow should go for it here. Yeah, this should be really strong. I wonder how to play. Maybe you don't take the bishop actually. This is probably the best. No, the idea was that rook d7, which looks really promising. Might not end the game because I take the rook, and well, I guess now you can sack your bishop. Something like check. Yeah, that's not happy. You're not playing that one really satisfied, you know. Probably this is this a problem? No. Is this one? No. Yeah, this looks kind of good for red and yellow. I think green is having some troubles. Yeah, rook takes c8. I mean, it was probably the move. We could take here, but it doesn't matter. We still play this. There's really no way to check or attack the red queen, and that's it, you know. Yeah, rook takes c8 is super strong. Probably, you know, taking this rook. I mean, this is begging for it. Yeah, this will lose really fast. Basically 4 moves. Take the queen, and that's going to be mate. So in the game, yeah, in the game he took my knight, and here I went around the angles. This was good. This was fine. Yeah, and that one. I think you have to do it, and this pawn kind of protects my king. And I think taking this piece was a big mistake. Rook takes c8 is the way to go. Just stripping the king from every angle. So yeah, what do you do here? Call security? Yeah, rook takes c8 is not nice at all. It's too much. So he takes the bishop. Now you can even consider sacking the queen here. I mean, it's not absolutely out of this world. Sorry. So let's see. I think we need something to be played here. Yeah, probably a check must be thrown in. Now take with the bishop, and if I run that way, am I mated? Probably the answer is yes. Not so fast. But this one looks good. Let's just play around with it. Going for it here. This one, is that fine? So there's a check. Green really needs to help out now. Probably bishop. Defending the knight jump. And now you come in. Oh, you don't, because then I take the rook. So you play this one. Oh man, that's so gross. If you go here, I take your rook, and red takes the other rook. Yeah, I think the queen sack was good. Yeah, this queen sack is really annoying. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to find ways to open the king. This is kind of helping me. Now we have a great attack. So yellow has a really hard time checking me if he doesn't play knight d14. I mean knight d11, which may be the best move. But he checked green instead, which was a mistake, and this king n8 move is a bad idea. The better move is king n6, which mates actually, because after king n6, king f3, queen f4, and knight i3 is checkmate, taking away all the squares, and now there's no rook sack. So, as happened in the game, I played this check, which was ridiculously bad. My plan was to play queen f4, and then I was down to 3 seconds and panicked a bit, so I just played the check, which was, normal. But here was a mistake. Should have played the double check, or alternatively play the knight l3 and knight i3. So if knight i3, I thought he would run, and now this check doesn't work because he takes it, and now I'm mated because this pawn is there. So in a way, I'm in a mating net, but I'm also attacking with free checks. So, and the problem here is that yellow has multiple ways to check green. So I really have to checkmate without hanging my queen, and that just puts a spanner in all of the mating attacks. So yeah, queen h1 was really bad. Queen f4 is mating 2. It's not mating 2 anymore, but now that we have settled what the proper response is, then it's basically a matter of time, because I have a perpetual like here, and now you just have to be a little bit careful. I guess bishop blocks are good enough, and the problem is that red is just running. What the so now you have to protect, and then is this? That's nice. That's nice. That's really nice. How can you avoid check here? So you really want mate next move. So you have to cover this square. Oh, the solution is right there. Yeah, it's not the solution. What am I talking about? And now the bishop takes the spot of the knight. Oh man, that's sad. What are there options? Yeah, not really. Alright, so the mistake was to take with the m9 pawn. I should have taken the other way. But this is not so hot. Let's see. Alright, so is there another way to play here? Pretty much, I don't have to check at this exact moment. There, you can castle here. Because this check is deadly. I mean, yeah, now he can take, so he checks, then he has made the next move. Oh no. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's a really strong move right there. Yeah, so I have to keep checking. There's no option here. Ah, maybe here there was an option. I could play this one. Let's see that one for a moment. So now if he goes to the side, I play a... Oh, it's just not going to work, is it? Oh no. That's checkmate. Checkmate on green, and if he had survived then it would have been checkmate on red. So that does not work, so I have to keep checking. And yellow plays the same idea. Probably now is the time to create some space. Oh, what? Why can't I take? Yeah, now you can take, because this is no longer checkmate. Now I figured it out. Check, and then you create an escape square. Alright, found it. So yeah, king and6 was mating. So the game continued as such, and I gave up the queen. And I think here they made a couple of inaccuracies. Most notably, I think yellow should have tried to check me instead of checking green, because these pieces are kind of irrelevant. Now I think you should go for my king. I mean, rook takes c8 is interesting as well. Many interesting moves here. Oh wait, is there a... Is there a very funny thing? I almost wanted to say that you had a queen sacker, but you don't. It is interesting though, because taking either capture, they have some drawbacks, you know. That will get mated, I'm pretty sure, so take with that pawn. Now bring the rook out, and how do you respond to that? Take the dangerous bishop, and then this thing is hanging. Check. This is not easy. You can run that way though. Alright, so this was not a... the game was still going here. soon as I was able to free my king, then it's game on. And I think giving up the rook was a bit desperate. They should have just let it happen. Like right here, I think yellow should capture the green rook. And the problem is that you can win the queen. It's not that trivial even, but what I find is like this is a mating nut. Alright, let's escape the mate. I mean the mating nut. Maybe move the rook. I don't know, let's pick a square. Actually, let's take that move back. Check. Take the rook. Going for mate. Creating an escape square. Capturing my bishop. That's sad. That's too bad. Because I wanted to play rook d14, but now there's no saving this rook. We're just it's not game over just yet, but we're pretty much losing. So let's go back. Yeah, I think they should have given back the queen for 2 pieces, and maybe even 3. You don't really have to be scared about losing the queen. And I think they became a little bit desperate here with this check. Probably just as fine would have been to capture rook c8 here. I mean, what to say? I'm almost mated. Just not quite. We're still in the game. So now we have 3 rooks on board. So we have a rook for 3 minors, but my rook is playing and the red king is weak. So game is actually very interesting still. We have some activity and the yellow rook is out of play. So in fact we're playing 3 rooks against a rook, 2 bishops and a knight, but the knight is also not really doing that much. The bishop, 2 bishops and a rook versus 3 rooks, it's not that bad. Red moved the king. Probably here I made a mistake. I should have secured my king by blocking off all the diagonals to my king. And later on they had yeah, probably this was not the best move. I know that it's tricky, but I probably should have gone straight for the checks on red on rook d2 to f2. This forces an awkward response. Probably, and I had to move the king again. What was really cool here was that I really asked for this move. Even though we just have 2 rooks left, the 2 rooks are so dangerous. I mean, if you're careful, you can get mates like in 4 or 5 moves. So this combo is really dangerous. Was there something to be said for this move? I'll then check. Yeah, I think this was a really good call, because now I have multiple checks on red. What was not a good call was probably the move I played now. Probably I should have played the check regardless, And actually, now I think yellow should activate the rook. And king can run in the middle. Like... run the king to some safety, I guess. Now, is there a way here? You know, you really want this to work, but maybe it's not. It's just flashy. I mean, now we're kind of threatening to pick up this rook. Yeah, so I don't know. You could play this as well. Yeah, it's really hard to play red here because we have mating ideas and also the rook is loose. So, and if we get 2 rooks versus 2 minors and a rook, I think we're winning because we have 2 moves for every move they have. And that's a really interesting part about 4-player chess teams is that you have 2 moves. So if we empty red of that rook, then we're basically winning, even though we're technically down material. So in the game I set up the mating net, and maybe it was a good decision. No, now that I think about it again, no, it wasn't. Because there's a really annoying check there. I mean, what to say? That one might save us, yeah. I was thinking I lose the rook, but in fact I don't. Because I can go back, and now this actually loses for red, because I pick up their rook. So I thought I blundered there, but probably it was the best move. Yeah, so yellow just activated the rook. King moves out, and that was probably not good, yeah. What the... I missed this. Check, of course. Missing simple stuff. Yeah, that must be mate. And even if it's not, like, you could give the red king some space here. It's still not easy. Like, let's say you attack the... Yeah, this is good. Now the king is forced up. Oh, it's my turn. Duh. So I should probably switch side. And now block the check. Pin the rook. Yeah, I think this is winning for green and blue. Even if the checks run out, then the red king is just in the mating net there. And yellow can get desperate, but there's not an easy entry point here to get a check in on me. And if you have to take all these pawns to get here and then cooperate with red, then you're just not in time, because green will check red in every single timely moment when yellow wants to sack his rook. I mean, set up a mate on me. So let's go back to the game. So in the game I pushed past to make the king come back, but that was probably not the best decision. What you want there is some kind of defensive pawn or bishop on the green rook, because that would be checkmate, but unfortunately you had to choose the side. Did we choose correctly though? Maybe we didn't. Yeah, that's possible. In fact, I'm pretty sure we did not. Like, now the king is cut. Probably going straight back is better. Not easy, not easy. I would say maybe we took the right decision here, because that was kind of a tempo against the bishop. So I wanted to check red here, but found better ideas. Or did I? So if I check, then red goes back and picks up my rook, and yellow goes on attacking me. So I'll just try to show that. So if I play, yeah, here, take. So if I check, yellow checks green, green runs there, and now I have a problem because my king is kind of exposed. So check, and probably a really good choice at this point is to counter check green. And the point being that finally you're up 2 pieces. I mean, this king is a little bit in a bad spot, but other than that I don't see the issue here. I mean, now you can even pick up the rook. Yeah, so this is winning for yellow and red. So that's why I didn't check. Instead I play this defensive move. Now hitting the bishop. Probably here, yeah, because if he checks me, then green just takes the bishop. So, and he moved it. Fine. Probably here they made the wrong call. Should have played rook l6, attacking green. This king a8 is a really nice move, because now there are no checks, and as long as green checks red, then we are winning. It sounds weird, but maybe it's true. So, and this is the final combo, I would say. And it's a really nice one, because if yellow does nothing, then green just protects the rook, and I can check and it's mate next move, so yellow will have to give up his rook for free. And that's why he's forced to give the rook, but now they lose 2 rooks for 1, and we're actually up material. So you saw that in the game I got 2 rooks and the bishop for a rook. And that was just the strength of having 2 moves per 1. Still in the game could have lasted longer. Here we went for checkmate, and that might have been the wrong decision. Here they timed out. You know, stopping this pawn is not easy anymore. I could have made more of an effort, like we could have hustled more, I would say, like here. It's also possible to just go after, so you have to be careful about move orders, like so let's say you stop my pawn, you run the king, and now probably you have time to do this. And next you're kicking the king, and note that all these squares are taken, so probably I should push my pawn again. And yeah, what to say? Like the pawn, this pawn race is not trivial at all. Probably now you can start collecting pawns if you're really into that. Yeah, this is so scary. I mean, bring the king. Yeah, this is probably winning for green and blue. We can see that combo again. It was so nice. Yeah, rook takes. Now we just went with the kings. I'm curious in the final position when he flagged. Let's just try check. I thought this was the most annoying. Now if you go in with the king, then there's another check. So I'm not certain this is over. Probably you should go in still. And now just push the pawn. In, up, check. King up. Pawn. King. Is there a nice shot here? Like this one? So I wonder, how does this work? You allow red to queen. And you play there. Oh, this is really annoying. Check. And unfortunately there's a run. There's a runner here. Oh no. Oh no, the king is cut. That's kind of sad. Is there another option here? I mean, if I go the other way, check, check, checks run out. So you really need a check here, but you can't find it, yeah? Wow. Maybe I should not take this pawn. Alright, so let's see that one again. There. Probably should check now. Yeah, this is better. Check red. Check, check, check. Now here. Check. This is not easy anymore. But that one might solve the issues. I'm not sure. So at this point I'm feeling like the pawn should be pushed. this one, setting up check on green. But then he goes up. How annoying. I don't like this. This is losing. Very, very nice. Can you even sack the knight now? And this would be checkmate, so you have to be careful here. Probably this is good enough. Check. Oh, that was a blunder. This is not good enough. You just need a waiting move. So now check. That's another check. What about here? Oh, this is interesting. Check. Yeah, now yellow should run the pawn. Box him out. Yeah. Do not take that pawn. Now this one is close. So you need to run out. So the pawn is running. And if you go there, whoa, this is mating. This has to be mating. Yeah, this is mating. And then a pass. And that's a checkmate. Yeah, so I think probably you can find a way to win, but it wasn't easy, you know. Now I found a 14 move long variation that might work, and it starts with checking. Probably already in the beginning position it was possible to start the checks, like yeah, already here probably checking is better. I'm not sure, not totally sure, because the king might run out and be safe, and on the other hand the pawns do not get advanced anymore, so there's some upside but also quite some downside. I think bringing up the kings is a really logical thing to do, but maybe we got a little bit over ambitious. Probably checking was yeah, like here probably a check was the better idea, because I really need my king into the game, and burning a few moves on red is always a good thing. Alright, that's what I got. Thanks for watching, and hopefully join me in the next one.